Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the frame freezer herself, Sandy Reevy.
Oh, because it's what's been happening. My frames have been freezing. Is that what you mean?
Yes, it is episode 307, week of June 10th. Let's get right into it in the transits. We started off the week with June 11th, Tuesday, Mars square Pluto.
Hey, one breaks.
June 12th, Wednesday, Mercury square Saturn.
Problems and delays.
June 14th, Friday, Mercury Cazimi the Sun.
It's a superior Cazimi.
And June 16th, Sunday, Venus square Neptune.
Watch for mistakes.
Then Sandy has some upcoming talisman times for us. And on the horizon, we're talking about our upcoming retreats. And same with our house. We're talking more in depth about the Greece retreat. So stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you.
Hello, frame freezer.
Yeah, I was in a class last night and it froze. We were on a call earlier today and that froze and then kicked off and it lost electricity. Lots been going on in the world, huh, everyone?
Right.
Yeah. It's Mercury, it's Gemini season, and a lot's going on, and there's just a lot of squares. We're still in this conflict week. You're going to hear, we get Friday. We'll hear how we can get a little bit of angel help.
Yeah. Okay, so going direct to all of you listeners, thank you so much for sending in your messages. This one is from Sarah. She says, "Hi, Sandy. I've been into astrology passively for years now, and I want to study it seriously. There are so many moving parts, and I really loved your breakdown of the information. The worksheets that she's talking about, the free glyph worksheets, awesome, and having a lead line. And then when you can provide greater context, it is absolutely clutch. The glyph breakdowns, I am mind blown. A new way for me to remember the way the energies are present. I feel exhilarated by this new knowledge gained, and I am very much looking forward to checking back in with you soon." So yeah, that was Sarah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sarah. I just, that's what I kind of do with my readings, my calls, my sessions, is as I'm describing something, I'm thinking, they may need to dive a little deeper into why this glyph that is represented as a planet and a sign acts this way. And so I give, my Mercury's in Pisces, as I say, so I may not be real descriptive, but I can paint a picture. Right, I can describe a story, and I can create a mythical figure as if this is happening, right? And people get that.
Yeah, and then having the glyph guide alongside, if you have your chart printed out in front of you or whatever it is, or if you're just wanting to learn a little bit more about astrology, that astrology glyph guide is a really wonderful tool to just break everything down and give you an overarching basic knowledge of astrology.
I mean, you could do a very easy, basic reading from that, right? On your own.
Right. So remember, everybody, these morsels of feedback are our soul food. So thank you so much for sending them in, and keep them coming. We really, really appreciate them. Let's move into the transits, where we start off the week with Tuesday, June 11th, Mars square Pluto.
Yeah, it's a square. Here we go. These are the two big power forces, right? And one of these breaks or bends too far, right? Just don't try anything hard or difficult or manipulative. You either step away from it or know that you're going to win, right? Don't play around with this energy. This is Mars in Taurus. Mars is not strong in Taurus, and making which is a fixed sign, and square to Pluto retrograde at 1 degree of Aquarius. So really, one of these breaks or bends too far. So, chill out on Tuesday the 11th. Again, this is part of the square package that is, in the sky right now for us all to deal with.
And moving on to June 12th, Wednesday, Mercury squares Saturn.
Problems and delays. We heard another square. And this is, again, one of the other malefic Saturn. Although I will say this, Mercury, the planet of communication, is in his own domicile, his own sign of Gemini. So he's able to maybe work some things out, but with much discussion, with much, the stress of not getting your way right away. So you might need to discuss the problem a little bit clearer so that everybody has a more of a long-term purpose for this conversation. So it could work out, but it's going to show up as a no.
Okay. Yeah. And Friday, June 14th, Mercury, Cazimi, the sun.
So Mercury is, again, in his own sign of Gemini. He's forward moving. He's moving direct. He's at 24 degrees. And that means when he's direct, he's in a superior Cazimi, which he's on the other side of the sun to us, right? Retrograde is when he's in between the earth and the sun. He's retrograde. But when he's direct, he's on the other side of the sun when he's moving with the sun. So, hey, you could get a download here, right? It's the sun is in Mercury. Again, it's clarity, it's clear, it's messages that are like, boom, aha, download from your angels, or, about why is all these delays and all these, configurations happening. You may get an idea of, what, we're just supposed to sit here now, not going this way or that way. And, it's interesting that we've got all these squares happening this week. I was just reading, and this is kind of off target, but yet not. I was mentioning it to a client I was talking to today. I read this last night about a gamble, like what do you call those casino? Like whether it's in Vegas or, in your own town where there's gambling going on. And I don't go there enough, or, oh my gosh, it's been 30 years since I've been in a, what do you call those, casino? But next time, somebody report this if this is true. They said that the architects of gambling do not put any hard angles in their architecture. Because if you like walking down the hallway and you have to go right or left, say to go to the bathroom or go to the restaurant or go back to your room or get to the elevator or go to the lobby or whatever that looks like, that you have to make a decision. And they don't want anyone to make decisions. So that square angles that we're talking about here does stop you to make, am I going right or going left, right? But they're saying that they architecturally prepare that everything is on a circular, that your body doesn't have to make a decision of, I'm going to go now, or I'm going to go left, or I'm going to go right. It makes everything super easy because it's on a circular or a diagonal. So they say that for the purpose of not having to make a hard decision, that you just stay in the area, right?
Yeah, because I think it adds to a bit of the flow, where and I mean, when I did go to Las Vegas, I kind of do remember when I was in one of the casinos, it was very circular. The bar was circular or oval. There wasn't a lot of hard angles, now that I recall. So interesting.
Right. And two, they say that they build it so oftentimes you have to go through the casino to get to a front desk, to the reception desk. But check that out where it's a lot of reflective mirrors, things that make everything more expansive and not real boxy, right? Not real squarey, boxy. Isn't that interesting? So here we're having all these squares this week, and yet there's a here we on this Friday we have this superior Cazimi that's saying like, your angels, the angles, we're finding out why are we getting stopped? Why are we getting delayed?
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and there's a higher purpose for it.
So let's move on to the final transit of the week, which is Sunday, June 16th, Venus square Neptune.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Happy Father's Day.
Right, but this is, Venus is in a sign of Gemini, of multiplicities, making a square to Neptune. And Neptune is just now getting to 29 degrees of Pisces. Neptune is all over my sun. And that is maybe diffusing a bit of my vitality. And I totally feel that. But the square is with reception because the Venus is exalted in Pisces. So watch for mistakes, right? It's Neptune is like, which is kind of why I'm making a little mistakes, and I have to pay attention to I have to ask myself clarifying questions often, and that's what's going on with me. And just really interesting, I know like my frame freezed last night in my class, so nobody could see me. It's this Neptune sun. Do you see my screen right now? Do you think it's foggy?
Yes.
What is that? See what I mean? Everywhere I turn, there's like a diffusion of myself. I feel it. I'm tired, right? Anyway, I stayed too long. Here I go. I'm rambling. Getting back to Father's Day. The Venus is making a square to Neptune. So watch for mistakes. Instead, just go with the flow. At least this is Sunday. This is just going to last a day. It's about all you can do, right? It's the Mercury here is, the Gemini part here is like, the facts and getting your cards and your notes and all the communications of your love, Venus, to the Father. And he's not like available, or he is like out on a boat, or he's fishing, or he's in a fog. He's not paying attention. But hopefully you planned your activity about 10 days ago. So, if you're listening today on Monday, the 10th, start making your plans for Father's Day. Get your cards in the mail, get your gifts if you're going to mail them, because it just seems like things are going to be a little off on Father's Day, and he may not get the proper message that you are
he deserves on this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's square, conjunction, square. Again, let me look ahead to next week. I want to see, because I knew we were going through a week. No, we have 2 more squares for next week. But a lot of ingresses moving out of Gemini and into Cancer period. So, and we got a full moon. So a lot going on this period of the middle of, early June to middle of June, a lot going on.
Right. So let's move into talisman times, where we like to discuss the upcoming talisman that Sandy will be creating. We have 7 for you. So we'll do some rapid fire here. The first, Thursday, June 13th, to nurture my mind with clarity and precision.
I communicate with discernment, finding beauty in the details and strength in my connections.
That's a powerful affirmation.
Right. And this is a crescent moon. We got the Sag rising. We've got moon is in Virgo, ruled by Mercury. Mercury's in Gemini. So really, it's all about mercurial energy, about your mind and clarity. And yeah. this is, I mean, there's great energy. It's a lot of energy this week, and there are great little bits and pieces of it that we can take in order to push through. So, this is, I mean, if you find out that you're having a hard time this week, you could we've been selling a lot of pre-sales, right, for our
Right.
talismans that we talk about and put them up online. These are up online already. And it holds the energy that you're experiencing. Somebody that bought a pre-sale last week, it was at 4:02 in the morning, and for her it was 2:02 in the morning. So she was up, and pre-sales, I'm like, hey, here's the information, here's the time I'm doing. You get to call color and style. And she's like, yeah, no problem. I want this energy, and I'm going to be up and ready for
That's
it.
amazing.
She was up. And so I text, a countdown, and she's like, yep, I'm here. I'm all ready. I'm like, wow, that's 2:00 your time. And
Well,
I'm up preparing, I'm up creating, and you're up receiving. So
love it.
that's what the personal connection of these pre-sales are.
Right. So let's move into the next pre-sale talisman, to be empowered to express, Friday, June 14th.
This is Mercury, Cazimi, the sun. I radiate warmth, clarity, and confidence. I am guided towards balanced connections and fulfilling experiences. This is just Mercury, Cazimi, the sun, getting these ideas from the angels, our helpers. Right?
And the next, same day, to be open-minded.
I am on my journey of discovery. This just may take me away where I have never been before. Long distance travel is part of my education. This is Moon making a trine to Jupiter in the 9th house, but in Gemini. So again, it's also the Mercury Cazimi. Being able to grapple a lot. Again, we're in first quarter moon, so the moon is in moving forward, growing in light signature.
And the third talisman on this same day, to align friendship toward partnership.
This is interesting because I am led toward an enriched love relationship with this wonderful person. This friend fulfills me in new ways that foster understanding and mutual respect. And that really could be that connection of, because we're going from the 11th house of the moon to the Jupiter trine to the 7th house. So it could be like, hey, I see you in this class all the time. And I know this has happened for somebody in my circle, that we go to this class together and we become friends or acquaintances, and all of a sudden we start this partnership. And this person that this happened to actually is, they literally went into a love relationship. They moved in together, and now she's helping him with his business because she retired. So, this is where we actually become friends first. Isn't there a song that says, I'm so sorry that we broke up, or something like that, but I'm pretty sure we were friends first. Right? Like it has
I don't know that one, but yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound like that at all.
So the next talisman, we have 3 more talismans on Sunday, June 16th. The first, to be creative.
My words, thoughts, and ideas have a wonderful expression. Oh, no, hold on. To be creative. My words, thoughts, and ideas have a colorful expression of myself. It's as if my DNA is written on these pages. It's all me, baby. This is the moon coming from the 5th house of creation, DNA, children, like projects, making a trine to the sun. So we're getting the really good moon trine sun energy of lighting up.
Wow, I do like that one. Colorful expression and kind of unabashedly being yourself. I like that. That is what is needed to be creative. All right, so the next one on Sunday, to fuel ambition.
I am adapting to the changes going on in my career. I easily connect with others on a mental level that opens doors to leadership roles. I am dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's that moon making a trine to the sun from second house to 10th house. So really about connecting with others on a mental level. Um, 10th house, goals, orientation, ambition. Yeah.
Wonderful. And then the final pre-sale talisman, to be gifted.
I humbly receive this fortunate and life affirming gift. This is in perfect timing of delivery. I accumulate wealth. This is a fixed star. This is the moon sitting on Spica. And Spica is the goddess of gift. This is the one who gives us that wheat shaft that's
Mhm.
in her hand, where she is giving us the really life affirming gift. And it's something of material good. So it's also wealth. This is a special one. Yeah.
Yes. Also, just a quick reminder, the talisman of the month for June is still available. It is to express my thoughts and ideas with clarity. I am blessed and gifted with a keen intellect and versatile communication styles. My curiosity guides me to diverse perspectives. This is Moon in Gemini, sextile Mercury in Aries, with Venus, Sun, and Jupiter all in Taurus in the 10th house. So these
Just real quick, give me that number.
1695.
Um, oh, whoops. Okay. All right. I just wanted to see something here. Okay.
Also, another quick reminder, the Venus star point in Gemini talismans that Sandy has made on June 4th are still available and on the website. So if you are interested, I'm going to put that link in the show notes for you to see those Gemini either earrings or charms that you can have.
And you know what, Alex? That of the talisman of the month did sell. I thought maybe it did.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. That is no longer available. But yes, the talismans from the June 4th Venus star point in Gemini are ready and waiting for you on the website. So I'll exchange those in the show notes for the talisman of the month.
Mhm.
So let's move on to the horizon, where we have just finished up a couple weeks ago the June astrology forecast that is waiting for you at our Patreon page. You can join for as little as $5 a month, and you get all of this wonderful information. We would love to see you there, ask your questions, and join our community.
Woo-woo.
September 22nd through the 29th, you guessed it, it's the Greece retreat that's happening on Amargos Island. We're going to talk more about that in our house here in a minute, but just wanted to give those dates one more time and also cue for you that there is a link for the retreat page where you can learn pretty much everything that you need to know about this retreat, everything from when to fly out, what's happening during this time, what some pictures were of our past retreat, and the theme. And we're also having a very special guest that we'll talk about in our house. So then moving on to our Egypt retreat that is happening October 9th through the 19th. We are getting filled up for this one. It is a once in a lifetime experience to go sail down the Nile River, or
Oh,
Sandy likes to say, up
because
the
we
Nile
are.
River. Yes, technically you're moving north. It's just because it's a little bit higher, and when it goes into the outlet of the Dead Sea, there it is. It opens up into Cairo and all of those beautiful.
Yeah, we start in Cairo and we end in Cairo.
Mhm. And then it's going to be an amazing retreat. We would love to show you some more photos and the full itinerary on the retreat page. So go ahead and click that link in the show notes. And remember that you can always get a free 15-minute call to ask Sandy whatever questions you have about the retreats. and see if it's a good fit for you. So let's move
Well,
into,
I think what we should do is start talking about Mexico.
okay.
Just
Do
the
you have,
dates and to be announced soon. I'm interviewing a potential
guest
teacher,
speaker?
guest speaker. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have a conversation next week, and I'm really excited. We're going to work things out. And this is Casa Tara in Mexico, La Ventana, Mexico. It's just north of Cabo San Lucas. And the dates are early, that first weekend in January. It's January 4th through the 11th of 2025. I can't believe it.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening Saturday to Saturday, and we can go in early. It may be that, hey, you may want to celebrate New Year's Eve there. We did that a couple years in a row. Went in early.
Right. Yeah. So, all right. I think that's a wrap, at least on the horizon, but we want to still chat about the Greece retreat. So come on into our house where we're going to share our favorite parts of the Greece retreat, which is just around the corner. So would you like to start? What would you like to say?
Yeah, one of the things that we did this last year. Plus, I did my scouting last year, so I've been
The year
twice already.
prior.
Oh my God, yeah, that was. Things are going so fast.
Yeah.
Again, Neptune on my sun. That here we are going, and it'll be our second of three. We're also going next year. I already contracted that in for next year. But hey, let's stay in the field of 2024. Yeah, a week in Amargos, Greece. It's a island, a pretty far away island from Athens. It's even beyond Mykonos and Santorini.
The popular spots. However, we did go to those popular spots and we will be going to those popular spots, but there is nothing like Amargos because it is so preserved. It is so remote. It is, in my opinion, it's untouched.
Mm-hmm. When all of these islands are so touched.
Lots of tourists, lots of, gift shops everywhere and
construction,
shops and,
traffic.
Right. Here, you're finding this pocket of a Grecian island that has really not seen a whole lot of tourism. The only reason why it's seen tourism is this one luxury retreat center that we go to that has 5-star service, 5-star meals. Oh my gosh, the spa. Should we talk about that? The views, each and every single room has a balcony view that overlooks this bay of, this beautiful island.
And the little town, the little cutesy town that we can walk to and get our, they do these, homemade wine in a plastic bottle.
Right.
And with twist lids. It's like that's their house wine. Of course, the restaurant sells the, more bottled wine, but we go down in there and have a patatato dish, and we walk down there. It's so quaint, and you can walk through the water to get there. I mean, you can go on the side too, but you can go walk through the water and buy your cute clothes. And it's really not. There's a pharmacia there that I bought. It's where you buy your cologne and where you buy your face products that have honey. They're honey-based moisturizers and body oils with honey, and
they're so well known for their like Grecian honey. Yeah. And I had no idea. But also we went to make our own essential oils up in the kind of in the higher town, and just incredible. Like we got to pick some of the forage some of those the pieces were, we were making lavender. And so one, that just smelled so delicious itself. But then when we put it in the essential oil, I don't even know what to call it, but
It's a distillery. Yeah.
it was like a big still. And you just saw it just dripping out. And then just the smell that was, you know, cascading through the house that we were also touring, which was the house of the retreat owners,
Grandmothers.
grandparents, and to see where they slept and the way that they ate and the way that their refrigerator worked, which it was like a little cube in the wall, and then there was another like lower cube for the big ice cube to fit in. It was just like, what?
And how they made their rusks, and they would make, because the fire in their, you know, ovens, they could only do once a month, right? And because it would heat up the whole house, they would only do that very infrequently, and they would make all their bread in one day with one big fire. But they would then cut the bread and then dry it and put it in these big vats with a lid. And that's why they use these rusks. I brought a bunch back because you can't find rusks that are little pieces of bread cut, and then they add a little dripping of water to moisturize them again. It's like, oh my gosh, the things they had to figure out. And of course, what about, and I know I went to that as well the year before, what about the old lady sitting in the corner knitting?
Oh, she was so nice. I tried using my Google Translate and talking with her. She was so sweet. She loved showing and pointing to the pictures of her and her family and her daughters, and it was just like wow. And then like the doilies that were everywhere and like over on the beds, and just the way that we could cheers everyone, and everyone was like so celebratory, that, you know, and just so genuine. So cool.
And then the ladders you'd have to climb up, because your kitchen, your dining room is here, but your kitchen is below. And then there was a ladder and a trap that you would come up, and oh my goodness, it's like but yeah, you'd look out these little tiny windows, right, with their blue shutters. And it's like, that's what a beautiful Aegean Sea, right?
Right. And like, you know, how everyone knows that in Greece, like everything is painted white. And what I didn't know, and then I found out when I was there, was that it was so that the pirates from afar could not see houses and couldn't see that the island was actually inhabited. So it was kind of like a defense mechanism to blend in.
Well, no, that's opposite that, or maybe that's what you meant. They didn't, because there were cave houses, right? Everybody lived in these, like, into the center of the earth, right? There were caves houses, and they all looked like earth, right? But when Greece got their independence and they were trying to figure out colors, they decided the blue and the white were from the ocean waves, the blue of the ocean, and the waves of the, the white caps of the water. So that's why their flag is blue and white. And so once the pirates and once all of that was finished, right, and it was more of a less of a piracy situation, then they slapped white paint on everything, so that it made a distinction of that there's people live here. This is an inhabited island. Yeah, right. Like a monastery, right? It's like in the side of this massive mountain. And you have to not crawl, but you have to tuck in to get into it, because it's in a cave. But they whitewash the outside of this area of the cave as all white, but the rest of the mountain is,
right,
stone color.
Yeah. It was so interesting. I mean, just all of the information.
And the Rocky that they serve everywhere.
Yeah, and the Simonami.
The Simeon, but it depends. Everybody makes their own Rocky, which it has a cinnamon flavor, but it's the leftover when they make wine, and you saw that how they did the wine with the crushers, the windmills that they had, that they're no longer working. You saw the Dutch windmills.
Oh yeah, off in the distance. You can
Yeah.
see
They're
on the
still
map.
there, but they don't use them anymore. But that's what crushed the grapes. But before that was their feet that crushed the grapes.
Mhm.
Whatever was left over after they made the wine, right? And they bottled the wine, then it was like all this, skin and seeds and, whatever leaf or whatever part of the branch. They took that and scooped it up and put it in a over a flame in a big pot, and that's the Rocky, and they added different flavors, a vanilla, a cinnamon. And so every church, every family did their own Rocky, because it has an alcoholic measure, but it was the leftovers. And actually I preferred that over the
Mhm.
wine. I mean, I did like the wine, and I will drink the wine, but the Rocky is like a way different flavor.
It's wonderful. Let's see. Anything else? I mean, like aside from the regular things of the retreat, like I think we're kind of going in the offskirts of the retreat, because these are all like the little bonuses that we can do as adventures. Like you went on a yacht with all the ladies.
Somebody who's going, there's about 4 people that went last year that are going this year, right? They're like never
sign me up for the
been,
yacht.
right? Somebody said, hey, if you do the yacht again, I'll go again. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. There were 4 beautiful young Greek men that took care of us and fed us and prepared drinks for us, they put out a floaty thing, and they pulled us through the ocean. Oh my God, we've never laughed so hard. It was brilliant. It was brilliant in the sun with our floppy hats and our bathing suits. It was like really, and we'd get out and we would have our snorkel and we would hang out and look underneath, and everything was just so clear.
Yeah, really.
Water, untouched water, fish. Yeah, so somebody says, hey, if you do that again, sign me up.
Right.
But something that I wanted to mention was, the cooking class. That how fun that was, the cooking class and the wine tasting.
Mhm.
So we already
Loved the cooking class.
Yeah, because it's the owner. It's Miss Irene.
Mhm.
Her son Stasmos he's the one that teaches the wine. How funny is he?
Yeah, no, he's so
She
nice.
did a little
He plays
bit.
the fiddle, and he
Yeah.
actually he like tours around the US and plays the fiddle. Like I had no idea like how talented this guy was, and he and his guitarist friend they were playing a show in Vegas. I think it was like just months after we were there. So just very cool. Very cool. I mean, and then like the whole purpose of the Greece retreat, when we get to go into our classroom, which it's absolutely gorgeous views, the projectors, the catering that we get, the I can't even describe how like beautiful it is. And then we're presenting in this like amazing room, and then later we'll either take yoga classes in there, or we'll have some fun activities in there. We'll do talisman making in there. Also, we can sometimes we go up to the rooftop and we get a 360 view of the entire resort and island, and it's really
You do
breathtaking.
yoga. You're running all the yoga classes,
Right?
and some meditation classes. Yeah, no, I mean, and they have a great spa, and we all get a 30-minute welcoming. What I'm going to do this time is give everybody the contact information for the spa, so everybody can get their spa services scheduled before we arrive. So I have to do that. But we're going to get together a little Zoom call for everybody to meet in Greek, which is funny because there's here in Chicago, and several of the people that went to Greece or are going to Greece are from Chicago or the Chicago area.
Mhm.
And there's a Chicago Greek festival
Festival.
this weekend. So I called it and said, hey, if anybody's around on this date, this time, let's do a meet and Greek. So we're going to go get um, some lucamades and some
Oh my
spanakopita
goodness.
and some fried cheese and listen
Oh,
to some of the
so fun.
songs, and there's dancing. Oh my God, remember when you learned to dance?
Yeah, no, it's
You
fun.
you did pretty good. I was like, let me
The
try.
steps are pretty hard because it's unusual. It's such an unusual, and then the speed of the steps are all very different. So, wow. It's like I encourage anyone to try some like, you know, Greek dances when they're all like in a circle and they're going around and then they like
It's
reverse a
what
little
it's
bit.
it's not even a circle, it's just like a snake line, right? One person is in charge and they were
Oh,
snaking around the dining area. And of course, this is after dinner and after maybe a couple glasses of wine, that people were standing up in their goddess gowns and doing
mhm.
this.
That was
Um,
at the retreat, but I was talking about the
oh, oh, oh,
dancing
oh,
at
oh,
the Greek festival, that it
yeah.
was all in that really big circle, and we got to, all the performers were bringing people up and dancing with us.
Well, too bad you're not going to be there this time, but yeah,
Better
everything,
dance for me.
huh?
Better dance for me
Yeah, I'll think
in my
about it.
absence.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's a thing. And, if you've never been to Greece, you need to go. If you've been to Greece, you'll want to go again. It was funny. I was reading something the other day about um, the 10 best places to retire with, which is good for your retirement funds, right? Because it's, as I get,
Mhm.
as I
More
age,
affordable.
my friends, it's like, hey, where can we travel, or where can we go, or where can we maybe find a place? And guess what the number one country is? Greece.
Really?
Our money goes really far in Greece. And they're saying that you could easily find a place to and live there, even if
I
it
could
was
see you
temporary.
retiring there.
Oh, I know. So anyway, just I have we had filled up really fast, and we were filled. And they called, and I had been asking for an extra room, and they were like, nope, 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 nope. And finally, about 2 months ago, Natalie from Agialis uh,
Mhm.
Resort and Spa called and said, we have a room. Do you want it? And I said, yes. So now that I have this extra room, I have a place for two more people. So I'm really wanting to invite two more people that maybe you know each other, maybe you don't know each other, and you will know each other, um, to come along with us. It's not too late at all. It's not too late at all. And
Not
we're
at all.
teaching, we haven't even talked about that, the Venus star point. We just hit that Venus star point on Tuesday. And so now that Venus is in a new gestational period of gaining curiosity and gaining information and gaining more wisdom to spread around the world. It's so perfect timing that we're going to be looking at everybody's natal Venus star point, which may or may not be your Venus sign. My Venus sign is in Taurus, but my Venus star point is in Virgo. So
Right.
how this is helping when one of the five pointed stars of Venus opens up in your life. Has it opened in your life? What year was that? What did that mean? Did anything open up now? Is something coming up to open up one of these petals? It only happens. Sometimes it won't even happen in your life, where one of your personal planets is on one of these opening petals. But if it is, you want to know about it.
Right.
And the teacher and the writer of the book, Ariel Gutman, who's on a Greek retreat teaching the Venus Star Point right now.
We'll be on our Greece retreat,
She's
and
my
we'll be talking specifically to each and every individual's Venus star point. This is so unheard of. She is so booked with all of her readings and everything that you can't even get a reading with her. But we're going to have an entire week with her to ask questions, to really investigate, to find out more about what is this Venus star point and what does it mean for you specifically?
And actually, one of the other attendees that is coming is also a Venus star point practitioner. So
cool. So you and her, yeah.
Yeah, so it's two of us. I'm a Venus star point practitioner, and we have one more lady coming in from Brazil. We have people coming in from Chile, Germany, Brazil, Hawaii, and of course us United Statesers, right?
Yeah,
I think,
very
and
cool.
somebody from Greece. So really, it will be a international. We're having more international attendees than normal, right?
Yep. So cool, so exciting. So if you want more information, remember you can get a free 15-minute call with Sandy to discuss any questions you have about this retreat. And if you just want to learn a little bit more, remember, head over to the retreat page to find out price, when to fly in, when to fly out, and what the itinerary looks like.
Also, because we have piggybacking about a week later, piggybacking the Egypt retreat.
Right.
So they're kind of like boom, boom. And so I'm just going to stay out there. I've got 3 people that are going to be at the Greece retreat that are going to the Egypt retreat as well. So there's that possibility.
Right.
Egypt is 10 days. That's October 9 through the 19th. The trip up the Nile for 4 nights, sleeping on the boat, going to, I don't know, a handful, maybe 10 different temples, sleeping in the desert, hot air balloons, OMG. I've never been. So I decided, and I was going to scout this. And so when I was scouting this, when I was thinking about setting this up with Devi, the high priestess who's going to be going with us, when we were planning on scouting this, I'm like, you know what? How about I invite people to help me scout this retreat and just call it a retreat, right? Mm-hmm. And so the Egyptian astrology is slightly different. And so I'll be tapping into that a little bit. There won't be too much time for classroom time, but there will be time on the boat to have some meditation and talking about what we're experiencing in these ancient old temples of the pyramids of Giza, for instance.
Yeah, wow. So thank you everybody for listening in to this episode. That is going to be a wrap for today, and we will see you all next week. So thank you everybody for listening in, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye everybody.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars, it's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the story.